Do you think you fit the stereotype of a Kyle? I've always wondered that.
Because
when you think about it, there's Karens and,
yeah.
Kyles seem cooler, so that's good.
Yeah. They're just dudes that don't want to grow up. So I guess that in that way
Do you fit the mold?
I fit the mold.
Yeah. Sometimes when people are talking about a Kyle, I hear things like Monster Energy drinks, Doritos.
Well, it's just funny too because of
Call of Duty.
the fact that comedian did some bit, and that was the thing that I think blew up for him.
Who was it? I don't even know.
Trevor Wallace or something.
Oh, okay.
He did some video bit
about
where
Kyles?
he's like, my name's Kyle, and he's like got on camo and a beanie and just like, I like punching holes through walls and drinking Monster and Mountain Dew Code Red.
Code Red.
There's like a gif of him. There's like one point, and I love the gif. I'll send it to people at times because I'm like, I might as well lean into this. It's my name.
Yeah.
Where he's got a Monster can and he's got a can of Mountain Dew, and he's pouring the two of them out so that they're intermixing, and then he's trying to just lap it up, as he's pouring it down.
I mean, that's a Tuesday afternoon for you.
Yeah,
right?
I suppose. I don't really drink the Mountain Dew all that much.
No?
Baja, I'll still drink the Baja Blast Zero, but
oh yeah, zero.
The regular Mountain Dew turns my stomach.
It's a lot of sugar and caffeine and or corn syrup, and
I don't know what the exact mixture. I mean, like,
there's a little bit of orange juice in there.
Yeah.
I always clung to that as a healthy option.
Yeah, you're getting a little orange juice,
some vitamin C,
some vitamins,
fight off the scurvy.
Yeah. Whether or not it's real orange juice or whatever.
So really, the only stereotypes or tropes of a Kyle is Mountain Dew energy drinks, camo,
punching holes in drywall.
Yeah. Okay. I've never seen you wear camo before.
No. And I don't know if that really fits the stereotype. It's just I remember this guy in the.
He was wearing camo.
I'm pretty sure.
Have you
it
ever
was
punched
camo.
a hole in drywall?
No, I mean when I was younger, I have punched walls before, but I mean what teenage boy hasn't?
One time put a hole in some drywall in my aunt and uncle's house.
Punching the wall.
And I never fessed up to it. I still don't know. I mean, they probably know it's me.
I was not anticipating this kind of a confession this early
I was trying to show off my Pratt skills, which is like,
your
like
Pratt skills,
like a Pratt fall, or like you hurt yourself, like fake, fake falling or hurting.
You were working on your jackass skills.
Sure. And so I did the one where you like grab your head and then slam it into a wall. But your
elbow is supposed to hit it
first, right, to make the sound. And I did it way too hard.
Not the jacket. This is more of the wrestling.
Yeah.
You were trying to wrestle
myself.
Yeah.
So I swung my head into the wall and I hit it with my elbow. I didn't hurt my head, but my elbow went right through the sheetrock.
Okay. So then here's the other part that cracks me up about this as I'm envisioning this.
Yeah.
So if your aunt and uncle never knew, then that means that you probably just were doing this by yourself in their basement. No cousins or anything around.
No, cousins were there. I was showing off to them.
Man, that's
so funnier. I probably got ratted out. I never got confronted about it. That's what I guess I mean. So I don't know. I probably got ratted out.
Because to me, that's a funnier picture.
That would
you just being like
I was practicing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like that's like on the level of the guy that was in like the first viral video swinging the broomstick around in the garage because he's a Jedi.
I would say most of my life is me, rehearsing things in my mind. So like I don't know. That would not be surprising. I mean, I told you before about when I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade, I wanted to be Slim Jim guy. Like, I wanted to
This
be.
is one of my favorites.
Like, I wanted to be known as the guy that always had a Slim Jim in his mouth. Didn't even think about like the other stereotypes that might come along with the guy that's always eating something or whatever. But
the guy that's always got a stick of meat in his mouth.
yeah, there's a lot there.
There's a lot there to uncover.
And it is like all in my. We were moving to a new town, and we were about to meet a family there, and we stopped at a gas station. I remember buying a Slim Jim. I think I might have bought two Slim Jims. And on the way there, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna save this one until I get out of the car. And I'm gonna start eating it in front of them.
Just pop this thing in. I got a big old long
like
cigar.
Like it's a cigarette or something. They're gonna be like, that guy's always eating a Slim Jim. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon they're gonna call you Slim Jim.
Yep. And it'll be ironic. Yeah, I didn't work out. Didn't have a job, in the 4th grade, so I couldn't afford to just have Slim Jims all the time on me.
Parents weren't in on the.
Yeah, I remember trying that same family. I tried to impress all the kids and the family by kicking a soccer ball as hard as I could, and I slipped in the mud and missed the ball and just fell on my back and covered my entire back of my clothing in mud. So it didn't work out. I didn't have the Slim Jim.
Have the Slim Jim in your
no, I had finished eating it at that point.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cooler if I would have had the Slim Jim. Yeah.
Slim Jim just hanging off your lips. I bet you I could kick this soccer ball so far all the way to the moon.
Yeah. Neither of my cool guy,
they fell apart right away.
Plans worked out that day. No.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I could see why you would think that might have been me in the basement. I had practiced it honestly in other scenarios in other places,
right?
But I got a little overzealous.
Well, and
and
that's
just
the
really
thing. Like that any kid that's trying to do something like that has practiced it somewhere alone by themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you were practicing it alone by yourself and you put a hole in the drywall, that just makes it funnier.
You get that adrenaline,
Yeah.
Sometimes you just do things with more zeal in the heat of a moment, So, yeah, that was me. Cool Slim Jim, muddy hole in the wall, drywall kid
guy.
Give me some candy,
bro.
I was reading the comments on our social media accounts again. I shouldn't do that.
This is one of my favorite sections.
But I don't really have a lot to report back, but there was just one comment.
That's all you need.
That was like, you guys, something like, they said a complimentary thing in the first part, and I don't remember what it was. Kind of like,
gotta butter you up a little bit.
It was like, almost like I like the vibe, or I like that you're talking about this. I don't know what subject it was. I don't know. But then the last part was like, but you guys seem to have really low energy. And I was just like,
we're old.
I think it's
funny. Nighttime. It's as you can see.
It's blaring. It's bedtime. It's almost 8.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
It's just funny because I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, yeah, when we've done podcasts in the past, and I would say those in years past had a lot more energy. We'd all kind of turn it on and be almost like a caricature of ourselves.
Yep.
But I mean, if I had this one thing to say to this commenter that probably isn't watching, I just I want this podcast to be kind of a more realistic representation of just conversation with two dudes.
Just
not like, hey everybody, welcome to Bringing Stuff Up. How's it going? Yeah, beep. We got a soundboard, and I don't know. I think I'm over it. So I'll try to bring a little more. This much more energy.
A little more. We'll turn it up to like 3 from 2.
From 2. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Oh,
so there's your.
It's funny because in another life we did another podcast. We've done a few podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those we took to a Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And nobody cared.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with the most energy.
I mean, people care. I remember almost filling a room with people that cared, but
That's
that might have
true.
been because we were giving away a Nintendo
We were giving away a
Switch.
Nintendo Switch,
Yeah.
and the room was packed, and
Yeah.
that was maybe the vibiest I think that we have ever felt
Yeah, it was cool.
doing a podcast. And then nobody cared to listen
after that.
after that. And
Just fair weather fans.
I mean, and realistically, I think the plan was great, wasn't it? The idea was we do this thing. We're going to spend what very little budget we have. Mm-hmm. Basically, our entire budget was
on
a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
We're going to spend this money, and in order to enter for this drawing, you have to follow us on, I think we were streaming it on Twitch, so you have to follow us on Twitch, and then you have to be present. So it was a twofold. We made sure that room was packed because you had to be there to be able to win.
Yep.
And we thought, man, if we get this many people, and we make sure that they're gonna get those notifications when we go live on the next time that we do a stream, we're in like Flynn.
It was a perfect plan.
Yeah. That was going to be the meteoric rise to our success.
I mean, it's crazy to think about that though now in like the context of modern discoverable social media where people are just scrolling and finding stuff, and it's like we were literally trying to do a grassroots movement to get followers on social media, which just is crazy now to even think that people would try that. But yeah, at the time, it felt like the only viable option.
That's crazy.
Buy ads for our podcast? No. Let's bribe people with a contest and hope it works out. It was cool. That was cool.
It was a good time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
We
anyways, you can only sip so much nostalgia.
That's true.
Before you
true.
You get a little tipsy on your own nostalgia.
Better tipsy than nauseous.
Well, that could be too depressed. I don't know which one it is.
Yeah, I'll take the tipsy over the other two.
Okay.
The depression and the
got a little nostalgic diarrhea. Need some Pepto-Bismol.
Chew a little chalk, make you feel better.
Yeah. Oh, do you like the chalk or the drink? The pink drink.
I'd take a Tums personally.
Yeah, I usually go for the Tums, but I guess
I feel like,
but that doesn't really help you with diarrhea.
I've never really had a case of diarrhea where I'm like, I need to take something for this.
Oh, okay. You just kind of had a one-hit wonder sort of thing.
Or I know I'm sick with the stomach flu, and nothing is going to change that. So I'm just
I just like to imagine the Pepto-Bismol is like that. Those little, what are those packets you put that are in like things that you don't want to get wet? Silicone,
like those little
silicone packets.
Yeah.
I just imagine that's what the Pepto-Bismol is. Is that it goes in there and it
goes
like
in there and it
solidifies.
just like solidifies everything around.
Yeah. So I bet if
know.
you just didn't have Pepto-Bismol, you could eat one of those silicone packets and be fine. Right?
Maybe.
That's science. You heard it here.
Science.
I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but if you have diarrhea and you can't cure it, eat a silicone packet.
That's true. Yeah, eat a silicone packet. I'm sure.
I think it'll be a good idea.
That'll be the next big thing. All these kids getting sick off of silicone packets. Yeah. Much like they used to off of the bath salts.
Or Tide Pods.
Or Tide Pods. That's the one.
Yeah.
That was a trend. Mm-hmm. Was that for science? Why where do some of these even start?
Probably just somebody thought it looked like candy. I mean, that
makes sense.
I've seen
that. Makes sense.
I've put a Tide Pod in the dishwasher and thought, this looks kind of tasty. I mean, like if this was candy, I would want to taste it.
Yeah.
It's colorful. It's squishy. It
can't be that hazardous if it's cleaning off your dishes, right?
Yeah. I'm going to eat off of the thing it touched.
Yeah.
So it can touch my insides.
Should be just fine. I've got insides of steel.
I just feel like that stuff is never. Yeah, sure. There was probably a handful of idiots that ate them, but I just feel like it was just those things just always get blown out of proportion, and I don't know.
You know, the further that we get into the digital age that we live in now, the more I wonder how much that's actually the case, because you have all these things that pop up that are suddenly the big trend or whatever.
Yeah.
And there are some of them that actually are, but then there's others that it's like, did anybody actually do that?
Doubtful.
I mean, yeah.
But it could be, right?
Could
it
be.
Could be one.
Could be.
Two. That's like, have you seen the trend of the pro wrestler? I don't know. You just made me think of this. That is
John Cena, you can't see him.
Not him. He turned heel, I heard.
Yeah.
Have you been watching?
I've just seen the memes coming up.
Oh, okay.
Where he just looks like an angry dad or something.
Yeah, I heard the Down syndrome community was pretty upset. Anyways,
you can't steal jokes from Shane Gillis on this show.
Sorry, I had to. I don't know who this guy is, and I should come more prepared to the show. But whatever, we're bringing stuff up, and you made me think of stuff up. This guy is a wrestler, and he bought some shoes on the dark web. So maybe you
see if we can find it here while you're.
Wrestler buys boots on dark web. He found a website where there were all these shoes, and they were covered in like brownish red stains, and they all had names on them, and they were all listed like in different prices. And so he bought a pair of these cowboy boots, and he got them, and inside one of the boots was a VHS tape. And he tried to like buy a VCR. Unless you're a TikToker, you say, he tried to buy a VHS player because I'm Gen Z and I don't know what a VHS is.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, but people are speculating that maybe these are like snuff films tied to the shoes. Did you find it yet?
Let's see.
Wrestler
from 1 month ago, former WWE wrestler accused of trying to buy child pornography. Probably not that guy.
Not that one. Just wrestler.
Duke the Dumpster has an arraignment being pushed back.
No. Let me try Google. Let's see. Google. This is a new thing on the podcast where we just Google things. Dudes Googling stuff. Wrestler buys bloody shoes on dark web. I'm going to try searching that. Shiloh Hill.
Is that who it is?
His name.
Okay. How did you find that?
I
so
searched
easy.
What wrestler buys bloody shoes on dark web. That's what I typed in. And it was the first thing that came up. Shiloh Hill buys bloody boots on dark web, embarks on personal odyssey. Also included a mysterious VHS tape. People on the internet are only getting weirder, and wrestler Shiloh Hill's latest stunt is proof. So yeah,
it's a stunt. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I googled wrestler boots dark web.
Okay.
How does that not pull anything up?
That was a boomer Google.
I'm probably a little boomer in my Googles.
I'm just messing with you.
Some days.
Now that there's AI, you can just be as literal as you need to be. You just say the thing and then it. See, because I used to Google.
I just trust that the word, like the key words are going to help me.
I know.
And
that's the way I used to Google too. I did it all the time. That's what I lived and died by, because I was like, I'm smarter because I know how this thing works.
Yes.
And I'm just going to type in the words that it needs. I'm not going to waste time with all the extra words.
Or I don't know how to ask the exact thing that I need to get it to pull up. So
the thing that's comforting, though, Kyle, is that there's just as many idiots out there as us.
That's true.
And so the Googles now just know when you say it stupidly that they know what you're talking about, because there's like, a million other bozos out there that search the same thing.
I mean, that's how I search, and I usually get something. This time I got let down.
I'm
live on a podcast that's going to be published later tonight.
No, but I hear you. That's the way I would Google too. If I was like, wrestler buys bloody shoes on dark web.
I should have put buys.
I would have put in, shoes, dark web, wrestler, or whatever.
Right.
And I would have thought that would work, but I just think now it's like, no, people just type sentences and that's what they expect.
Yeah. I do type in a lot of questions
Yeah.
when I'm looking for an answer for something.
And then does it answer?
Why is this website not loading? Or why is my Xbox doing this? Or
why is this silicone packet not curing my diarrhea?
Why is it not curing my diarrhea?
I only feel worse.
I feel worse. Much worse.
Now I can't throw up or poop.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's rough. Well, this has been looking stuff up.
Yeah. We'll get a new jingle. Anyways, the dark web. I kind of forgot about it till I started seeing those stories. Yeah. I think I thought it didn't exist anymore. I don't know. It's like one of those things where it's like object permanence.
It's gone. Yeah. Nobody
uses the dark web anymore.
Nobody uses it.
But it's weird to think about. Like, oh, that's a real thing out there that people are doing nefarious deeds on, and
right.
People are making money and
maybe it's
spending Bitcoin.
Maybe it's the trying not to remember that that's a part of the world that we live in.
Yeah, it's like there's enough bad stuff going on that we don't need to think about the dark web.
Speaking of science and poop.
Yeah, science and poop.
I saw an article earlier this week.
Okay.
I believe it was NPR, so it seems like it's probably sourced well. Unless you're following the president's opinion on everything, then you might not think that as much. But there is a study that is happening where they are looking at penguins' poop as a possible way to slow down global warming.
Okay.
Because there's something in the way that, since it's a cleaner atmosphere area on the poles, when these penguins are all huddled together and they're pooping, the ammonia is mixing with the molecules in the air and creating clouds, which in turn is helping keep sunlight out. Because apparently, if there's no cloud cover, even up in the North Pole or like on the poles, because of how dark the water is, it can absorb a lot more heat. Okay. That will help heat everything up. Like, obviously, it's not going to be something that we're going to necessarily notice if you're taking a dip at that point, but it does help trap it in the atmosphere.
So you're saying that penguin poop counteracts cow poop?
Potentially. Okay. Yeah. I think it has something to do with how much cleaner the air is up there, and so the ammonia mixing with they were noticing that, like, you could visibly see that fog was happening in areas and then clouds were forming.
So, theory, should we send all the cattle to the North Pole and breed them up there?
Maybe.
So we have our beef supply shipped to us from the North Pole, and then all the poo gas that's breaking down the ozone would be better up there, right? That's what I'm hearing. Okay.
Potentially. I don't know if there's something in the diet that would be like, there's something in the diet of fish and whatnot that's different than like eating
Nothing
grass.
Would be worse than bite into a burger and having it taste like fish.
Ooh.
I don't think anyone wants that.
You got to know you're eating a fish sandwich.
It's like, is this hamburger helper or tuna helper?
Gross.
I don't know what you made for dinner. It's got the texture of beef, but it tastes like tuna.
Something. I was gonna make the joke that, Wendy's can't utilize any of the beef from the cows up there because they have that whole
fresh,
thing never frozen.
Yeah.
Although that's a misnomer.
Oh, they freeze their beef?
I think their beef is frozen. I think what they're saying is they don't cook it and then freeze it and send it to you. It's only gone through like the meat packing plants or whatnot that processes it to be ready to cook.
Are you saying McDonald's pre-cooks their meat and then freezes it?
I think so. I think that's what they're trying to imply. No. Because there's no way that Wendy's is getting a package a truckload of beef every single
McDonald's
day.
beef is fresh. Like it's maybe frozen, but it's not like it's raw. It's not like pre-cooked.
Or in some way, shape, or form has been started. I that's how I've always understood it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I
was under the impression that their beef came in like a refrigerated truck instead of a frozen truck. But
maybe that is. Maybe
but I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we could only look it up, but we're not going to do that. We're going to let the internet answer that for us.
Answer those questions for us. Somebody in the comments below
works at Wendy's.
Right down there. Tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I never gave it too much thought either. I think someone one time told me, who probably didn't know or did know. I don't know.
Yeah.
They just told me, they're like, oh yeah, Wendy's uses refrigerated trucks instead of freezer trucks or whatever.
Yeah.
And they get their meat delivered more frequently or something like that is what I thought I heard.
Could be. I guess I always thought that it made sense because of how much, I don't know, how quickly McDonald's can just, here's your burger.
I think, but
it
I'm
does
pretty
seem
sure
like
I've
you wait a
seen,
little bit longer at Wendy's.
I do feel like I've seen raw meat though get cooked at McDonald's, but maybe I'm imagining it.
Could be.
They do have really thin patties
That's true too.
that probably cook faster, but they got the quarter pounder. How are they getting that done so fast?
How are they getting that out so quickly?
It's microwaved, maybe.
Inquiring minds want to know.
So they're just microwaving the burgers.
Yeah, I feel like that might be what it is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because a microwave burger is not a good burger. Like, I mean, and I don't mind McDonald's every once in a while, and
Yeah.
it's like microwave meat's really kind of rubbery. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, who knows? Ronald McDonald knows. He's
Yeah.
got all the secrets, just like Colonel Sanders.
Speaking of Wendy's, one last thing. I don't know if we've ever talked about it before, but have you ever seen Wendy's old training videos that are on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a bizarre hole to fall down.
You've been watching them lately? You think
No, I remember years ago stumbling across that and then just being like, I can't stop watching these. I can't stop watching them. What's the next one?
Because they did like music videos. And like
I mean,
it
was like cringe humor type of stuff that
Mm-hmm.
was well before its time.
Makes me. We're talking about Wendy's now. That's our new.
That's
thing.
our newest segment is Wendy's.
I will say bring back the Superbar. I've been on this.
Yes.
I've been dying on this hill for a long time. You want me to come back to Wendy's? Bring back the Superbar. I want 3 different shapes of pasta with a red marinara sauce and an Alfredo option, and then I want you to take hamburger buns and toast those things with garlic butter and cut them in half. So I got the hamburger bun garlic toast. And those were good. That was good.
How on earth did they manage that? I like strictly thinking about it from a restaurant perspective, from my limited experience in fast food. I don't understand how they did that and how it wasn't something that was just making people ill all the time.
Hey man, you got the cold being cold. I don't know if they had ice.
You got the ice in there. I mean, sure.
They probably got the hot being hot somehow.
I guess I'm also wondering how many people. Like, I'm wondering if it is partially that they just did not sell enough of that. That was the reason.
Come
that
on,
it didn't.
everybody was going the Superbar.
I don't know. I don't remember it that vividly.
Maybe
I remember seeing the bar.
Older that
I mean, I remember it. I just don't remember ever touching it or anybody that I was ever with.
That was the destination choice for me. I was like, I got spaghetti.
Didn't have to worry about scurvy because you got something off of that Superbar.
I got tacos. There was
tacos. That's the one that's wild to me.
Tacos
they got tacos.
on it. They had pasta, and then they had salad bar. It was great. They had pepperoni on the salad bar. That was always the seller for me.
I'm just gonna pile pepperoni on everything.
I could just eat a plate of pepperoni. I would make these as a kid.
I got pepperoni in my tacos. I got pepperoni in my pasta. I got pepperoni on my salad.
And the move I did as a chunky little kid was I'd make these little pepperoni taco things where I would take a pepperoni and I'd put a crouton inside of it and a little bit of and then a little bit of shredded cheese and I'd dip that in ranch dressing. and I'd build them. I'd sit there and I'd build one at a time and eat it. And that was
Okay,
all-
so you'd pile your plate up with pepperoni
croutons,
cheese, croutons. Okay,
ranch dressing on the side,
Yep.
probably in a
Okay.
soup cup. And I make these little tacos.
you were living in 2050, my dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That sounds amazing.
That was good. I had some weird because I feel like I grew up at buffets as a kid,
Yeah.
so the Golden Corral was another big one.
Okay.
The move there for me, which still I'll get a weird craving for it sometimes, and I rarely fulfill that craving.
You rarely give in.
But it's those fresh rolls that they have, the bread,
Okay.
and they have honey butter, and I would make these sandwiches at the again pepperoni. Here it comes, Golden Corral. That was just rolls, honey butter, and pepperoni, like a thick amount of pepperoni on there.
Okay.
I tell you what, it was so good. There was something just about the salty spiciness of the pepperoni contrasted with the sweetness of the honey butter.
So what I'm hearing is, if there was some way that you could get pepperonis at Texas Roadhouse,
I don't know. I feel like the cinnamon
might
they'd throw it off.
work. It might work.
It might, but I'm scared because I feel like the cinnamon would throw off that pepperoni flavor.
You know
a
what you
little
need
bit.
to do.
I don't know what I need to do.
This is full circle moment. Are you ready for this?
Yeah. Okay.
Next time you go to the old Texas Roadhouse,
Yeah. Bring a bag of pepperoni.
just have a couple pepperoni sticks in your pocket.
Yeah.
Kind of like the
Gotta be slices though. Can't be sticks. It's gotta be slices.
All right,
It's
all
a
right.
texture
I was
thing.
trying to go for. I mean, you'd slice them yourself then.
I'll just pull out a package of Hormel.
Okay, you'll be the pepperoni pocket guy
Yep.
instead of the Slim Jim guy.
Everyone's gonna know me.
Everyone's
by
gonna know you.
the greasy breasts.
You're just gonna be like, I gotta.
Are your nipples
Sprinkle
leaking?
'em in.
Your nipples leaking,
Nope.
sir.
Nope, it's just my pepperonis.
Is my Hormel acting up again?
You'd say the pepperonis, and some people might be like, oh, "Okay, come on, guy, come on, we're adults here."
Yeah, it's just my pepperoni nipples.
Just my pepperoni nipples.
They're greasing up again.
Yeah, they're activated.
When I get warm, they get greasy. Nothing warms me like these rolls.
Why is it only on the one side, sir? Don't you be asking me questions.
Yeah.
But that's what you do next time.
Okay.
Take a little Ziploc. Try it out with
then
the
I can
cinnamon
report.
butter.
I can report back if
report
the cinnamon
back.
throws
Yeah.
off the umami.
Be like 2 years from now. I did it.
I did.
Did what?
Yeah. Okay. Think about it.
I don't know. Just a nice little treat for yourself. Really.
I suppose the wait staff would. I mean, they probably wouldn't say anything, but they would probably be. They'd be talking about it in the kitchen. Gosh, this guy at table 26 brought pepperoni with him. He's putting it on the rolls.
He pulled some pepperoni out of one pocket,
Yeah.
and then he pulled Pepto-Bismol out of the other pocket.
He's eating.
He's ready to go.
He was eating silicone packets. He was eating the pepperoni silicone packets. Those are actually in those Hormel pepperonis.
That's true.
so
That's true. You got it all there.
I'm gonna eat this first to prevent the diarrhea.
Get to prevent the diarrhea just to get a base.
I call it a bear plug.
Oh gosh.
And that was another comment I saw. Normalize context.
Normalize context.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we were talking about that Brandon Abernathy's the singer last
Oh,
week,
right.
And
Yeah.
one of the clips just didn't have us saying who it was.
Oh,
And
okay.
so they were confused.
We got a little
I said-
clip happy.
I
cutting.
said, get excited. But I said bear plug, and now I feel like I need to normalize it with context. Which, if you don't know what a bear plug is, it's what the bear does before it hibernates. It eats a bunch of roughage to plug up its butt so it can sleep for a long time. But then when it wakes up, it's got to poop the plug out, and it's like a big nasty toilet clogger. So in my family, when someone would clog a toilet, we were like, oh.
So
They left a bear plug in there.
someone's woke up from their winter nap.
Usually meant someone just was going to make more room for the buffet.
Yeah. It's a good time. I was thinking you were gonna try and give context for the the entirety of the episode there.
Oh, that's impossible.
That was impossible.
No one can do
It's
that.
like, you want the context, go watch the episode.
Yeah.
Wink.
Yeah. Go to YouTube.
Do it.
.com. Actually, go to bringingstuffup.com.
Bringingstuffup.com.
It's there. It's all there.
Yeah.
It's easy.
All the links. Click them.
Click things. People like clicking.
Watch the whole episode. You'll get...
I like clicking things.
Yeah. Clicking things is nice.
I think I got some weird stuff on my shoe.
Clicked it, huh?
Like it looks red. Looks like blood or barbecue sauce or ketchup or...
Did you get those on the dark web?
I did, actually. That makes sense. It just said Nicholas on there.
Nicholas.
And so it came with a weird video, too. No, it didn't.
No.
No,
you're not searching for that, I hope.
I don't want to watch snuff films. That sounds like a bad time.
That sounds like a very bad time. Did you see was that today? Was that only today or was that yesterday that there was an Apple event and
Yesterday
they released some information about the new operating systems and what they're going to look like.
Liquid glass or something. What was it?
Yeah, I think that was it. Liquid glass or something.
They're going back to more skeuomorphic design for the old interfaces. Everything's glassy.
The images that I saw, I don't like.
Yeah. You're not a change
person.
Well, no,
it's not so much the change. I think it's because initially I thought, oh, that seems kind of cool, but I think it was when they showed multiple different. It was the one that got me was looking at the notifications.
Oh.
And some, like, if you were looking at all your notifications on your phone, right, and you can't hardly read anything because it's all see-through, and you see everything that's behind it too. And the fact that there's not any type of...
Isn't it like blurring it out to where you can read
and maybe
not?
it is, but the image that I saw, it looked like it could be real tough. Could be a real tough sell.
I suppose, yeah, the design of iOS that we have...
It feels like it's kind of
been this way for so long
that
it is going to be tough for them to try to reinvent anything.
And I think that reinventing it is probably well overdue.
Okay, I kind of see what you mean. It's so close to the background, it doesn't...
Yeah, it just kind of seems like it could be something that could be very confusing to look at. And it makes me wonder if there will be some of those things that they'll eventually go back to the drawing board on and put a little bit of contrast or something in it to separate them out more.
Yeah, what is it called? Compliant. Hold on, I'm looking stuff up again. I think it's ADR compliant.
What is that? ADR.
It's
audio diarrhea referendum.
I don't know what it stands for necessarily. It's ADR compliant refers to meeting the requirements of the European Agreement concerning the international carriage of dangerous goods. So that's not at all what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There is something else. There's a compliance that it's more for people that are
like colorblind and
like hard, like, or if you're legally blind or
right,
where you have to have a certain amount of contrast, and it just seems like that will not have that.
But and it's that. I think that was the thing that I saw. Everything looked cool, but it looks like it could just kind of get lost in the sauce if there's not a little bit more contrast than what the images I was seeing were.
Some of the new app designs, like the icons, were kind of meh. They didn't get me. Like when they updated to this newer flat look, I was pretty excited because it made it seem so futuristic. And
I remember that.
Kind of like, I don't know what I think, but yeah. I'm saying I'm with you more than I'm against you is all I'm trying to explain.
And I'm with you more than against you on having a refresh, because it has been a while. Like I didn't realize that all the different things that they've changed have all been within the motif and everything that they really kind of had set up like
It's a long
iOS 7, I think they said.
something. I don't know.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That was that long ago. So,
Well,
gonna be interesting. And if you're an Android fan, I apologize for the last little bit there.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care.
I don't care about your stupid
You fanboy nerds.
Yeah.
It's just a part of my life, you know.
Yeah. I got an iPhone. So
I got an iPhone.
It does feel like it's less of an identity thing than it's ever been, though. Like,
you think so?
I don't know. I mean, I still think it's people get uptight about it, but it's not. I don't know.
I get irritated when I'm on my gaming PC and I'm like, I don't have any of my passwords. How do I get into anything?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? Where is everything?
You need to install iCloud on your PC.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's what I did. It has been a lifesaver.
Interesting.
So you can also.
I've only used my PC for gaming though, so from that distinction.
But here's why it's also cool.
Let's hear it.
It's a hot tip. You can use like your iCloud. You can sync files that way. So I have when I save like a game clip or something on my gaming PC, I have it save it to one of my iCloud synced files, and then that way it's always on my phone when I want to check it later.
Nice.
So, yeah. But yeah, it can be a hassle too. It's not. Yeah, I think that's the one thing. That's like I always use Safari on my MacBook and on my phone because of the passwords and everything. It's just easier, and there's features about Chrome that I would probably rather use, and like from like web compatibility and that stuff. But I just stick with Safari, because of the convenience.
Yeah, I really have too, except for recently on my MacBook because it's so old. I can't get half of the websites to pull up because I just don't have any updates that I can do for it, and it's
interesting. But Chrome
it's just doing like this I'm broken sort of thing with like Java script
Chrome
stuff. Chrome will still pull everything up.
Good.
So I was like, I guess I'm using this now. As annoying as that is, but
yeah, there it is. Google Chrome. People are probably out there right now thinking to themselves, you should use Opera. Because Opera's the coolest browser.
Ooh, Opera. I don't even know what Opera is.
I don't hardly know what it is, but I know it's an Opera. It's an Opera. It's a browser that you can download. So,
gonna sing real loud at me?
I think so. I think every time you launch the app, the fat lady sings.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
It means everything's over.
Is that what that means?
I think so.
Yeah, colloquialisms are weird. Like,
aren't they?
Like, I thought everyone had heard the term "Bob's your uncle," but
yeah, I think I was the one that surprised you.
Yeah, I was surprised. Did we already talk about this on this show?
No, but that was like years ago. I'd never heard the term, and you said it.
I'm just saying, just recently, people.
Oh, recently
in my
you had
life,
somebody else
I have talked to who had never heard of it, and I'm always surprised. I'm like, why am I surprised every time?
How young are they?
I mean, they're my age.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it might be like some young intern at work or something.
No. But it's just, it's like one of those things where I thought that was a very common thing. Or I used the term accoutrement, and I assumed people knew what that meant. I thought it was a commonly known French word, and I guess accoutrement is not as common.
It's like a accompaniment, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, like you're like the things that go with,
like an accentuate.
So if I say I'm gonna bring meat and cheese and crackers or something like that, I don't want people guessing what I'm bringing, so I might just say I'll bring the accoutrement.
Yeah, it's gonna go with it.
All the things that go with it.
It's in the vein of it.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I guess I'm just a fancy French boy.
Just a fancy French boy with a stick of Slim Jim.
I smell bad and I got hairy armpits.
You smoke too?
Yeah, I love smoking.
Just a little.
I smoke Slim Jims.
You gotta smoke them. Yeah, you smoke Slim Jims. There we go. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the one.
I was just talking about Slim Jims the other day with somebody, and they were saying they had one and they remembered liking them as kids, and they keep trying them again as an adult and think they're disgusting now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know I had
Was
one.
that you?
No, that wasn't me. Someone I was talking to said that to me, and I was trying to remember the last time I had a Slim Jim. And the last time I had one, I tried one of their gimmicky flavors that was like sweet chili Dorito or something like that. And it was horrible. It was really bad.
Okay.
But I still think, at least somewhere in my mind, I think just an original Slim Jim I probably wouldn't mind. But they are very greasy.
Oh, yeah.
They're
very
snappy
greasy.
and mushy.
Mm-hmm.
But Macho Man,
Yeah.
he loves them.
Snap into it.
Yeah.
Was that... I don't... Honestly, I don't know the last time I had a Slim Jim. It was probably like somewhere between 12 and 14 years ago when we had gotten one before a concert or something like that, or a band practice or podcast or something.
I buy frequently at Costco. I buy the Archer grass-fed beef sticks. So they're like a higher class Slim Jim in a lot of ways, and they're delicious, and they're
Fancy lad.
They're more,
Nutritious.
They're not like super greasy or anything like that.
But do they sell them in nacho?
They don't. But I was asking ChatGPT how
to make them?
I was giving it a list of all the food I had in my house, and I was like, what could I eat to like get, more protein in my diet, like maximize levels of protein, right? And it was like, it gave me a recipe for an omelet where I put those beef sticks in the omelet. And I'm like, no, what are you doing? I told it that was a bad idea. I'm not putting Archer beef sticks in an omelet, okay? I know you think that you are onto something here. AI with no taste buds. Not gonna do it. I'm not. Stop giving me that look, Kyle, like it might be good.
You should probably try it.
Not. That seems so awful.
Why? You like the beef sticks, you like an omelet, right?
Yeah.
You're just putting a little meat in the egg. Sprinkle a little cheese on that bad boy.
I mean, I guess it's not that far from like a ham or bacon, I suppose, but wait, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems
people do
weird.
steak in the morning. Is it because it's beef? Is that the biggest?
No.
Okay.
It really isn't. I remember growing up eating hamburger and eggs. My mom would make like a hamburger steak. It was pretty much a hamburger patty, but we called it a steak to be fancy.
Yeah.
And I'd eat that. That was good. I've had eggs on a burger. I don't. It's not the beef thing. It's just that it's like that seems like to process like a more of a dried meat. It's like saying put beef jerky in your eggs or something like that. That just seems
what
weird.
If you soak it in water the night before?
Now we've gone too far. I can't. I can't do it.
I got another great idea though.
Yeah.
You're using GPT.
Uh-huh.
One of the letters.
Yeah.
Using that to come up with
LGBTQ.
Yeah, all of the above.
It's a different AI.
If you're using that to find what should I make out of this, you could use that as your food truck pitch. Just create a food truck with a menu that was entirely created by
AI.
Your AI.
Yeah. Okay.
AI taste buds. It'll be just and you could just do random things at different times.
I could have like a giant touch screen outside the truck with a list of all the ingredients that I have available, and then they can choose like 5 or something, and then they have to eat whatever ChatGPT tells me to make out of those 5 ingredients.
Yeah.
Or
you could just ask ask people to give you different ingredients, and then you use whichever ones you pick, and that's what you're going to have on your menu that week. ChatGPT.
GPT. ChatGPT.
Can you tell I hate AI?
It's you say
or I'm
that
an old man.
You say you hate AI, but you use AI.
You're
all
right.
the
I
time.
know. I understand that.
You just don't like the. You don't like the politicized version of AI, or what?
Yes, I don't like the idea of it stealing stealing arts and creatives and stuff like that.
Taking
We've
our
talked about
jobs.
it. Yeah, and
Taking our jobs.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You know what? That makes me think of something that I wanted to talk about, but we'll save it for Patreon. So come on over if you want to hear that.
Come on in.
We're gonna jump over to Patreon if you want to subscribe. You can hear what we're gonna talk
like
about
$1.
over there, and that topic is going to be ice. So, anyways,
okay. You wanted to talk about it, but that's a good one. That's a really good way to do this. Let's just cut this right here.